Okie dokie people, welcome back. This is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies for Android, and this is going to be part 3 of our blind playthrough. Let's get started. This one, was it? Yeah, that checks out. Alright, there we go. Let's do it. Ah, yes, my controller. Yo, Kathana, you've been really antsy ever since we got here. I'm just excited. This is my first real court case after all. Yeah, a real ball of excitement she is. I know just what she needs. Athena! Eek! Didn't you ever learn about indoor and outdoor voices? I'm just trying to show you the best way to relieve your pre-trial jitters. By scaring the daylights out of me? No, I find that shouting "I'm fine" in a loud voice really relieves stress. It's part of my Courts of Steel voice workout and a must before every trial. You want me to shout? Here? That's right, here, I'll go first, then you try. I'm a pole of justice and I'm fine. Alright, I'm Athena Sykes. And I'm fine. I think that actually worked. I thought it might help. Always works for me. An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time. I see, a proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Hey, how about we finish off with a race around the courthouse? The point is to relieve stress, not get totally exhausted. What's with all the racket, you two? Ah, Mr. Wright. Just a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit? Oh, I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back, that's all. That's all? That's huge news. But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon, but we can talk about that another time. No fair, inquiring minds want to know. But wow. I'm so used to him in his usual laid-back clothes. Yeah, him serious, like ever. When does that happen? Excuse me, just real quick. Okay, there we go. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor assigned to this case? Yeah, he's serving time, but before that, he was a prosecutor. He also uses psychology. That's right, I've heard the rumors about how he was back before his conviction. I've heard rumors about how he was back before his conviction. Okay, yeah. I had to replay the sentence in my mind to understand what it meant. Using the power of suggestion, he could make even the most stalwart defendants confess. Psychology in the courtroom, been hearing a lot about that lately. So, he must be a pretty scary guy considering he's a prison inmate and all. So they say. They also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much. I knew it was gonna be bad news. It's probably just hyperbole. At least I hope for your sake. Wait, so is it true or not? Yeah, that's so funny. The risk of me being cut to pieces and stuff. Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, that is. Yikes! Better tone down my cords of steel too. So are you all ready? It might be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring. Right, Mr. Wright? Right, Mr. Wright. But I'm fine. I'll be watching from the gallery. Good luck. Thanks. Okay, let's do this. The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low, but that's nothing new. Believe in our client, seek the truth, that's all we can do. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma. Here comes justice. I need a freaking green screen. Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. I know that big booming voice anywhere, as chipper as ever, Mr. Justice? But who is the young lady next to you? I'm Athena Sykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner and fresh out of law school. Well now, full of beans too, eh? Excellent. Makes an old man feel young again. So Japanese. Genki da ne. Now for the prosecution. It appears the prosecution is not ready yet. Never fear, for I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. How does that even work? Prison? Oh, yes, of course. I almost forgot that he is currently serving time. He might have been in prison by your fault, for all you know.
Yup, Prosecutor Blackwell's an inmate.
Yikes.
But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
Dun 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 dun. Dum 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 dum. Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him. I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackquill. Ahem. Is the prosecution ready? Enough jabbering. Get on with it already. Oh, of course, forgive me. Why are all the people related to this case so scary? Very well, Prosecutor Blackquill, your opening statement, if you please. What's the matter? Must we continue to fritter away time like this? It is all right there in the indictment. Indictment. How do you say that actually? Pronunciation. Indictment in British English. Indictment, okay. Why is the C silent in indictment? To formally decide someone should be put on trial for a crime. It comes from the Latin word that means to proclaim. We pronounce it indict because its original spelling in English was indict, a spelling that was used for 300 something years, I don't know. Well, anyway. Okay, so it says, it is all right there in the indictment. An opening statement would be pointless. Pointless? Oh, well. Looks like the cat, or in this case the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue. But we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand. Well then, your boldness. If it's so very important, why not you do the honors? Your boldness? Who? Me? There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things. And then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool. Isn't there something like contempt or whatever it's called again in court? I'm not sure how you say it in English. Contempt of court, yeah. Yeah, contempt of court, Your Honor. Wait, was that the prosecution's opening statement? Old dotards, such as you are a plague upon the young. You're going back to jail as soon as this thing is over, so you shouldn't be so eager to see it over, I suppose. I pity your poor grandchildren, or is it great-grandchildren? All these years I thought the opening statement was a prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. It might be a nice change of pace. What? He actually fell for that? That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about. The opening statement. Let's see here. The victim was one Rex QB, older man of Ninetailsvale. Well, I kinda need it because since yesterday I may have forgotten some details. The defendant, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenma Town, is accused of this murder. And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested? His prints were on the murder weapon. Plus, he had a motive to the elimination of the biggest roadblock to the municipal merger. The caretaker and the secretary are the potential suspects. Both have alibis. And his daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive. So, in a nutshell, I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible. Bravo, your boldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head. Ho ho ho, flattery will get you everywhere. Okay. He's playing Simon Says with the judge. Moving right along now, let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the detective assigned to this case. Bobby Fulbright. Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on old Black Quill here. I also heard you would provide protection if it ever came to that. It would seem that I have been sorely underestimated. Wait, who's protecting who from what? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around, even old Black Quill here. Fulbright. Save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement. That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up on you. Prosecutor Blackwell doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Black Quill. He's so oblivious. He was the only one for the job. This required some special talents. Excuse me. Now let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright. You got it, but first I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail. About the murder. Older man Kiwi was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Older Man Kibi was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Mayor Tenma attacked with his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake and he grabbed the statue and struck back. Older Man Kibi had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug. That's right. The accused was scared because the older man was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. QB's autopsy report added to the court record. And the victim managed to attack his attacker despite being impaled by a spear? That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him. He still died from it. Not so fast. Don't try to brush it all off by saying the older man had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of the incredible feats of which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clink. I don't know, it still sounds a little far-fetched. Yeah, well. Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you with the edge of my blade. I didn't sign up for this. And so your life is spared. For now. Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die. Haha, my investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof, or my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest. The accused's prints were on the weapon, and he's the one person without an alibi. Quite decisive evidence, wouldn't you agree, your boldness? The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute. He has the judge leaning toward a guilty verdict, and the trial's just barely begun. What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks a merger for the purpose of freeing Ten Mataro from his imprisonment. Truth be told, I can think of no real reason to show interest in that backwards burg. Perhaps he's a complete nutcher and really does seek to relieve an imaginary demon. Either way, he is raving mad and more than capable of murdering the older man. That mayor is a strange one, alright. I heard he went to a blood drive, but instead of donating, he tried to make a withdrawal. Order! There will be no gossiping in my court. Your boldness. Please, take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenmataro. Then again... perhaps he's already under the demon spell. Behold! The lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment. Eep! Hold it! The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head... They're just a fashion statement. I think... come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they? The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Oh, what a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here. Phew, thanks for that lifeline, Athena. Careful, Apollo, he has the judge dancing in the palm of his hand. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwell's arsenal. Okay. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impressions to suit his objectives. Okay, excuse me. Oops. No, never mind. Okay. Okay, never mind. This guy is really bad. Really is bad news. In any case, it seems the victims did manage to defend himself despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than this statue right here. It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. Two yokai, to be exact. On one side is the nine-tailed fox, and on the other Tenmataro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art. Fox and demon statue updated in the court record. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. I may have to look at the evidence again because nothing comes to mind really. Older man QB was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. Do we have the... Oh yeah, there it is. Stabbed with a spear, estimated time of death around 3:20 p.m. The victim had been in a drug-induced slumber. Uh-huh. Do we have a picture of the place about, hold on. Is that a spear that had been on the wall? Do we know that for sure? The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. Well, that's fact, pretty much, so... At the time, older man QB was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. How do you know that it was unwittingly? I don't know. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. Okay. Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds airtight. No wonder he's so confident. No, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. That part about the older man fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. I should press on that then. The older man fighting back.
Hold it!
Okay, let's press this. Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with that huge spear? Absolutely, after all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of being drugged and speared was answered with a righteous counterattack. But does being a former pro wrestler make him a superhuman? Absolutely, after all, he was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need.
Objection!
Objection! You need to lay off the comic books, detective. We're talking about real life here. Ah, where did I put my... Oh, there it is. Setting aside the half-wit's flight of fancy, the fact is this. The court-ordered post-mortem concluded the victim moved after his curing. So he found the strength somehow to attack his attacker, huh? Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds airtight, etc., etc., etc. A photo of the hero who sparked the monster craze and saved Ninetales Vale from becoming a ghost town? Yeah, no. No prints could be lifted? Maybe that's it. There are no prints, so...
Objection!
Ah, there we go. That was it. Did the older man really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the older man struck back after the mayor put a spear through him. But the statue is supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear that the defense is a counter-argument. Very well, let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about the detective statue theory. Statue theory. There are no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence, and if you look at the crime scene photo, you'll notice that the older man isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he is quite gloveless indeed. Gloveless. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you? Arrgh, this can't be happening. Did I arrest the wrong man? It's the city. You did it, Apollo! You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse. Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. I'm surprised the prosecution hasn't raised any objection yet. Sorry, I forgot to turn the microphone back on, but I realized soon enough. A whelp... wait, hold on a second, actually. No, not that. I can't display the log for the conversation, I guess. Okay, fine, never mind. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackquill. There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found on the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Hone your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Now, let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used to wipe out blood? He wouldn't have he would have better things to do. I mean, he's just been skewered. Why would he be wiping up blood? By QB as a head covering? To wrap the statue? To wipe up blood? Well, it is covered in blood. Maybe the cloth was used to wipe as much of the mayor's blood as possible off the statue, and in the process the culprit inadvertently erased the older man's fingerprints as well. But who did that then?
Objection!
But the mayor did not bother to wipe away his own fingerprints on the murder weapon. Why would he wipe down one weapon but not the other? Careful now, use what little brains you have left before you speak. Give me a do-over on that one, please. Now, let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used to wrap the statue? Maybe the older man wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. But why would he take Why would he choose to do that anyway? Why would he go out of his way to do that is what I meant to say. Precisely. Bully for you, boy. No, please don't. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. Oh, it was nothing. Apollo, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did. Ah, I did. Okay. Right. That a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the older man striking back. Oops. Arg! Fox and Demon statue updated in the court record. Okay. Now, do you see how dull your mind is? But who did it, then? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. Particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly honed his blades before he went to work, like the samurai of yore. Samurai sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef? It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kinda attached to that hole, now what? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the older man didn't hit the mayor with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. There's only one answer, the real killer! Prove the existence of this real killer then. What evidence have you? Oh, I'll give you evidence, alright. Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks allegedly from a yokai were found on the scene. I believe they were from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that older man? That's exactly what I'm suggesting. Objection! No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left. Ah! Sorry. Guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, we have no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch! You meanie! I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright. So is this court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it? No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the older man. Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed? So that we would think that it's impossible and just conclude that the other guy had to have done it? In a roundabout way to pin the blame on my client. Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is. Ouch! This, I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. Hoy, Fulbright, explain to his boldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. What? You mean you can explain all that? that face. Our investigative prowess is without equal. I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession. Very well, let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks. Feathers and tracks. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears? Absolutely, he knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the older man was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tenmataro, that is. Tenma who? Tenmataro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. Excuse me. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black-feathered demon. And thus were they blinded to other more plausible explanations. Hold on for a second before we start letting our imaginations run wild. Isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor. And as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tenmataro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection!
Dullard, you are playing right into the killer's mind games. What? Listen here, the feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Tenmataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenmataro suit is the killer. Ah! The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the older man. And thus our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid? The evidence speaks for itself. Fulbright. Right, it was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. Just so, a particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist? No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? Yes, well, now then the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Hard to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor could be behind such a stunt. Alright, we have to do something, Apollo, before they pin it all on the mayor. Then we're going to need to prove that Mayor Tenma didn't plant the yokai stuff. How are we supposed to do that? Well, the footprints don't correspond to his feet, do they? Yeah, there's the eyewitness account, I guess. No? Wouldn't that make sense? What does it say exactly? After leaving the scene and calling the police, they passed each other at the bend in the hall as he made for the foyer. He was carrying a staff-like implement that jingled. She couldn't call for help because there was no one else in the hall. Let's try, I'm not sure.
Objection!
No, that's incorrect. I just took a penalty. Your boldness. Who, me? What do you make of this objection of his? Oh, I don't know if I should, well... I have no patience for vagaries. Vagaries? Vagaries? I've never heard the word. Something to do with vagueness? An erratic, unpredictable, or extravagant manifestation, action, or notion. Okay. Now answer my question. Yes, sir, the defense's objection was clearly misguided. Bravo, nicely done. Oh, it seems our misguided attorney has earned himself a penalty. I'd better look before I leap next time. But before I make another really bad mistake... Or maybe I have to present it here, the same? It's not fabricated, we have a witness.
Objection!
No. No. No!
Hold it!
But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our clients planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman QB? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So your honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct? Perhaps the killing was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman QB's secret identity. Apollo, I think Prosecutor Blackquill has figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my, but why would it have been there? The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? Well, could it really be? Your boldness hasn't had an epiphany, I see. Our victim Rick's QB was the amazing Ninetales, and the mayor's discovery of such was his motive for murder. No! He knows, man. Order! Order! What a shocking development. A motive clearer than crystal clear. Uh-huh. Okay. What a shocking development. A motive clearer than crystal clear. What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they tied the older man's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last we've reached my real point. Why did the older man have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your boldness? I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona, just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement. Very astute of you, your boldness. Right, now take a look at this. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetales Vale with Tenma Town. Do not tell anyone about this threat if you do consider your dearest as good as dead. Your dearest? This blackmail letter was found in Older Man QB's pocket. What? At present, the older man's wife is in the hospital, and that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the older man's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder and planted it into the older man's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what happened. Talk about being up the creek without a paddle. Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway if he'd just left after planting the yokai things, but he was knocked out cold by a sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetales. So it was the amazing Ninetales counter-attack that brought the entire crime to light. Wait a sec, Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the older man after planting the yokai evidence, and that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that. Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Is there something that we have that proves this untrue? But the blood is under the feathers in the photo. Objection! That doesn't seem possible. Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. What's this? You dare question my justice again? Yes, and I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo. This is the crime scene photo, and just what does this prove? It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted. But I already told you they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence, then was knocked out while killing his victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene. Well, here isn't it? I'll save anyway. Take that! Aren't you just pointing to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice? Yeah, see how the feathers are on top of the blood and the tracks were made in blood. In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the older man. But you said it yourself, the mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else besides the mayor and the older man at the crime scene. There must be some mistake. Order in the court. Where is your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness's testimony for you. You do? But how? Was my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked? He's taking this really hard. Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have? I have it right here, Your Honor. It's the sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was the demon Tenmataro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks. Will somebody please say something? The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means. You dare to mock this court and justice itself? You're unfit to bear your name, boy. Your boldness. It appears our defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion. Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What about him offending the judge all the time like that? What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please hear me out. Very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears, but you had better explain yourself well. What was this yokai you were talking about? It's all in the statement here. Jinxie Tenma asserts that she saw Tenmataro after she discovered the crime scene and called the police. She came around the corner in the hall, and it was around here. That she saw Tenmataro fleeing toward the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. What? How incredibly unjust. Why haven't I heard about this before? So the mayor isn't the killer? Was it all a setup? The prosecutor is a convicted felon after all. Apollo, the momentum has shifted in our favor. Excuse me. No, never mind. Good. Now let's keep it that way. Objection. Little do you realize that though you are in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there is a problem with my claim? Consider this, if that yokai impersonator had indeed fled toward the foyer. That fool and that fop would have seen him. Fool and fop? Oh, you mean Filch and LaBelle. Now that you mention it. Yeah, but they're gonna lie about it. Both Phineas Filch and Florent LaBelle were in the foyer at the time, but they haven't stated that they saw a yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination? Why didn't those two see the Tenmataro impersonator pass by? You already know. Why don't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. No, really, I was. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. I just know you must have seen something. I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. I trust you have no objections to Mr. Justice's requests, Prosecutor Black Quill. I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby. I knew that Tanuki was a rare find. But when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up a witness. Do with him as you will. Did he just say captured? No, wait. I don't want to know. I'm not sure I do. Very well then. Bailiff, please go wake Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand. Will the witness state his name and occupation, please? The name is Filch, Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor. Oh, and this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like. Oh my, what a fabulous pair of shoes. And your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch. Ah, it's those shoes again. Don't they belong to Detective Wright? Don't tell me Filch stole them again. They're all yours, your honorship, sir. What? But they seem awfully expensive. Yep, too expensive for me, but I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like your honorship. It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I can't accept such gifts. Thank you! At least, for this. Oh, ethics mythics. Just take them if you want and polish them up real nice for you, too. I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw Tenmataro in the foyer after the murder. Ethics schmetics. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked. I was making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise, could get to our guest. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened at 3 p.m. But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary, no siree. That yokai you keep jabbering on about was but a phantom of a little girl's dreams. So you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like Tenmataro? Yep, was guarding the whole time. That's the truth, the holy truth, and nutter butter the truth. And Tenmataro, bah! You don't really believe in all that yokai mumbo jumbo, do ya? I certainly don't. When he's doing that kind of gesture, that means that he is lying. My bracelet, it's... Something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. Really? So you think Mr. Tanuki, Filch has been lying to us? I wouldn't rule it out. Now, if I could just zero in on a some sort of nervous habit. Ah, what in the... Okay. What's a hog doing in there? Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse, made it his new home, in fact. He doesn't live with you, you know, in jail. Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird? Taka simply loathed trickery and fraud. And that queer power of yours seems to have offended my dear bosom buzzard. Hey! I won't be able to spot squat like this. What the heck's going on around here? Run for the hills. No pets or other animals allowed in the courtroom. Somebody help! Oh, he's merely having a bit of sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished. In that case, Prosecutor Black Quill, you will ensure your feathered friend is properly fed. Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way. Something's still bothering me, but... Strange. Never mind. Okay. We'll be fine, I think. If there was someone dressed as Senmataro there, Filch should have seen him. We'll just have to put our faith in Jixie's statement for now. Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination. Yeah, but no, because he was watching the thing.
Hold it!
The wrestling match or something. Did you really keep an eye on the foyer the entire time? Poor old Filchy. Been working hard my whole life. Only to be smeared by some greenhorn in his fancy schmancy suit and silly haircut. Sorry, Mr. Blackwell, sir. Didn't mean to get off subject here. Sheesh, Blackwell didn't even say anything. To answer your question, yes, I kept an eye. No, both of them, in fact, on the foyer. Yeah, but, we have that piece of evidence that says otherwise, don't we?
Objection!
Yeah, you were watching TV, you moron. Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch. Hey, it ain't right to bushwhack a fellow like that. Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you'd never miss. I didn't watch that one, though, sorry. I was doing my job just like I was supposed to. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right? Yipes! Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster." So, do you admit to slacking off? You can't trick me with your Rudy Poo lawyer talk. Okay. Jeez. Leave me out of this. I'm one of them professional types too. I can do double duty watching TV and the foyer at the same time. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I can do double duty watching TV and the foyer at the same time. The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional of is professional thief. Mr. Justice, you would have this court believe the witness was slacking off? That's correct. He claims to have been watching TV and the foyer at the same time, but that's nothing but a bold-faced lie. Bald, you say? But I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant the witness, Mr. Justice. And in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV and the foyer simultaneously. Now prove it. Something about the plan, maybe. Yeah, this probably. That must be it. I'll save before I show it, just as a precaution, but... oops.
Take that!
Okay, please take a look at the direction the TV is facing in this diagram. Now, unless Mr. Filch's eyes where his right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time. Why, yes, someone watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance. Unless he was watching another screen with on which the camera feed was showing, I guess. Exactly, and that means, Mr. Filch, you were slacking off and were not watching the foyer as you claim. Yipes! The bag's out of the cat, or I mean, other way around. Order! 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 But Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch's less than stellar work ethic relevant to this case? He wouldn't have seen if the guy was passing through. It's very relevant because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Ten Mataro impersonator in the foyer. Yeah, but the other guy is gonna argue that LaBelle was there. Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? This. I'm not a mind reader. Auditory sense. His eyes may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki? They were? I mean, yes, they were. But you already admitted to slacking off. Now you say you weren't? My eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer. You see the foyer floor and stairway get all creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. Creak, creak, creak. Loud enough to wake the dead, I reckon. Would have been flying. I don't know. So you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by? Yep, my ears were working full time, so who's the liar now, you no good shyster? A lying thief calling me a shyster. This has to be the low point of my fledgling career. Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackquill, sir. You really are something else. I mean, you don't miss a thing, and them bags under your eyes, they're darker than mine. Fair warning, Mr. Filch, that guy's particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you light to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu. Yikes! Please don't eat me, Mr. Taka, sir. The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under penalty of painful bird attacks. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony accordingly. It's true I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floor there is all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by. So you see, there weren't no Ten Mataro in the foyer. Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand? A simple, rational explanation is best. Forget yokai, demons, and such. We must use common sense. For lacking that, our entire world would be put upside down. Says the convict prosecutor, who is totally a sign of the end times for the legal world. And besides, if there were any yokai roaming about, I'd nab him and sell him to the zoo. I wonder whether Jinxie was just seeing things. That seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking to my guns. But if we can't prove she saw Ten Mataro, the mayor is sure to be convicted. And we'd better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Excuse me, there's something I'd like to check. No, never mind. Okie dokie. It's true, I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eye's been slacking off, blah 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 blah.
Hold it!
So you have pretty good ears, Mr. Filch. As good as they come, I'd say. Ain't nothing to hear a creaky floor. Plus, that Tenmataro makes a sound when he goes by. It's like a jingle jangle. Jingle jangle. How does he do that? That staff of his. That's what jingle jangles. What's he talking about, Apollo? Beats me, but I guess Tenmataro has a staff that makes noise. Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw Tenmataro holding a staff-like object that made a jangly sound. I guess that's the source of the noise then. Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Filch says Tenmataro jingle jangles. Would you consider that vital information? I think it's very important. Extremely vital. I request that it be added to his testimony. If Tenmataro was to pass by, his staff would have gone jingle jangle. Should I press that again? I don't know. He doesn't have a staff on this.
Objection!
How would he know unless he actually heard it? I gotcha. Tenmataro's staff would make a jangly sound, you say. Well, I'm going to say that your story doesn't add up. Is there something the defense would like to share with the court? Mr. Filch, you say that you didn't see Tenmataro on the day of the incident. Why did you assume just now that Tenmataro would be holding a staff? Huh? You see, the Tenmataro Jinxie saw held a staff in his hands. And she described its sound just like you did, as a kind of jangly sound. Yes, so he was holding a staff. What's your point?
Objection!
The point is that Tenmataro doesn't use a staff, not normally. What are you talking about? You see, this is the only known document depicting Tenmataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch? You're right, there's no staff. Not even a cane or a walking stick. Ah! So the question is, why does the witness think Tenmataro uses a staff? I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. Well now, this is getting interesting. Alright, Mr. Justice, it's time to show the court where you're going with this. Please tell the court why Mr. Filch believes Tenmataro carries a staff. This court is wrong. He actually saw Tenmataro. Mr. Filch actually saw Tenmataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way he could possibly know about the staff. Busted again! Well, he just said it. Bloody hell, you duplicitous little... Yes, how'd that feel, Black Quill? Not so fun when you're on the receiving end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Filch, you did see Tenmataro that day, didn't you? Well... I'm begging you, please don't make me say it. But clearly you did see Tenmataro. Stop stalling and testify to that fact. No can do, no way, no how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be. He? Mr. Filch still won't admit to seeing Tenmataro, even though everyone knows he did. The question now is why. Mr. Filch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it. They say you must not gaze upon Tenmataro, but in the event that you do look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Tenmataro will claim your soul. Jinxie wouldn't admit to seeing Tenmataro after hearing about the village superstitions. She said that if she told anyone that she had seen Tenmataro, he'd claim her soul. Wait, you think Filch believes that too? Ah, so Mr. Big-Time City Slicker Lawyer has heard about them. Them old village superstitions. Will the defense please explain what the witness is talking about? The people of Ninetails Vale believe some pretty strange things, and their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Tenmataro. Darn straight, that's why. It's all right here. Do not gaze upon Tenmataro. Do not tell others if you see him. They have a list. Village superstitions. It says right there that there are superstitions, but ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. See? That's why us folks in Ninetails Vale can't talk about seeing Tenmataro. How convenient. The person disguised probably knew this and chose to disguise as Tenmataro on purpose for that reason. How convenient. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions by wearing a Tenmataro costume. They knew that way no one could talk about him, so it was as if he never existed. Defense holds that this Tenmataro impersonator is the true killer. What?
Objection!
Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And would that using some silly fairy tale so easily expose the culprit? You need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection!
Your common sense seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Prosecutor Blackquill.
Objection!
Try living in my world of narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark, sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstitions in the Clink, but few are those who truly believe in them.
Objection!
Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the people of Ninetails Vale. A life or death superstition might make you even might make even you a believer. Order! Order, I say! You fool of a Tanuki, 2 times now your lies have cost me. Sorry, I promise not to do it again. That face. Taka, my fine feathered friend. Have at him. Yipes! He's gonna eat me alive! Head for the hills! Ha, he took off. Bailiff, what are you waiting for? After him! And with your fasted men! That's certainly not something you see every day. Well, it would seem a new and important fact has come to light. A third party disguised as the yokai Tenmataro was at the scene. And now we have 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackquill? Ah! No more shackles! Uh-oh. What? Huh? Ah! It's shackles! I'm too young to die. Justice, Dono. Long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. Ye had best say your prayers. Eek! The judge is gone. This is good. There's no one to call for order in the court. Ah, no, he's hiding under the desk, I guess. Detective, do something! Have no fear, Fulbright is here. When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going. Get to work, damn it!
Objection!
Put him in shackles again, then get going already before he kills us. Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackquill, for it is his sense of justice that set him free. Objection, objection! I object to Detective Fulbright's definition of justice.
Silence!
Okay. I'm not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards. Oh, well, in that case, Prosecutor Blackquill, can I ask you to, you know... I think the judge forgot he's in charge here. The silence is so cool, man. That silence. Yeah, he's cool, isn't he? Hello, Monica. Good evening. God, it's a bit late. You're still up? But I'm glad that you're here, though. Me, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Been working evening shifts lately, so I have to stream a bit later than usual. But I'm fine, though. How are you? So, Justice Dono's assertion is this. Tenma Taro is the real killer, not Mayor Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Right, and that yokai, or rather, whoever was impersonating him, killed Alderman QB.
Silence!
Silence! Ah! Care to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai there in the Fox Chamber? What? He's right, she said nothing about Tenma Taro being in the Fox Chamber. Let me enlighten you. That little scamp heard a dying scream right before she opened the chamber door. And your point is? Upon opening the door, she found the freshly secured murder victim, the alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor. I fell asleep around 4 and woke up not long ago. Feel quite hammered, so might not stay long. Only wanted to watch for a bit. Ah, okay. Appreciate it, Monica. You're welcome. No, there must have been someone dressed up like Tenma. Ah! Then why does that little scamp claim not to have seen a yokai in the Fox Chamber? Considering our father is accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room? I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tenma Taro inside the Fox Chamber? There is but one way to find out. Ask Jinxie Tenma whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of her crime. Uh-oh. But she can't talk about it either if she saw it for real. But then again, I guess she did tell us about seeing Tenma Taro in the hallway after, so yeah, that wouldn't make sense. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long as my blade thirsted for blood, at long last it shall be sated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? Show me what you're truly capable of. Justice Dono! Very well then, both parties no doubt need some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... No, there won't be a recess, I guess. 3 minutes. I'm sorry, but... A 3-minute recess? Just so. Plenty of time if your destination of intent is the loo. The loo? You mean the bathroom? Sheesh. At least include enough time to wash our hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished. Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins. I declare Prosecutor Blackquill the winner of this round of Simon Says. Doesn't bode well for us if the prosecutor is running the show, does it? Evidence is all that counts in the end. April 18, 10:40 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Okay. He busted out of his shackles. Yeah, what was that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Better be careful, Apollo. You've really brought out the samurai in him. Especially after you proved there was a Tenmataro impersonator at the manor. What's with that guy and the whole samurai act anyway? Such fine swordsmanship. That is no mere act. Mr. Justice, it's high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel. No, wait. Let's save the dueling until after we prove your innocence. I suppose it could wait till later. Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here? Athena, I'm gonna go wash up. Remember what Black Quill said, Apollo. Don't be late. Okay. Yeah, that was short. I should save, by the way. Just for safety's sake. There. Okay, there we go. Now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma, a maid at QB Manor. I believe we can proceed now, if the witness is ready, that is. Nurari Hion, I guess. Leader of the 100 demons, he really does exist. It's a reflection in the plate. Wow, that is one well-polished tray. It's a tray, okay. The witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible. Eek! What is it, my child? Begone, Nurarihion, leader of the 100 demons. Ho ho ho, you think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar, the demon of due process, if you will. Black Quill is so cool. If it wasn't for Edgeworth and Van Zeeks, he would be #1. But he's a top three at least. Yeah, strong competition on the prosecution side, I guess. Can't say the same about the defense attorneys, I guess. Eek, my charm has no effect. The demon of due process, not sure I can see that one. Now, you little scamp. Yes? I trust you know why you're here. Bags? Bags? Oh, that tricksy tanuki. Try the noodle stand and go enjoy a big bowl of tanuki tail noodles while you're at it. Okay. Everyone's a comedian. No, I meant Euro bags. The ones under your eyes. The ones, apostrophe S. Okay. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Azuki Arai away. Azuki Arai, the yokai that washes Azuki beans? I don't know. Don't ask me. The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off. Yikes! Azuki Arai often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. Oh, okay. If she says so. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? Well, thank you. Okay. Looks like Prosecutor Black Quill got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together those two are just plain creepy. Your testimony, if you please, Miss Tenma. Specifically, whether or not you saw Tenmataro when you discovered the crime scene. Did she or did she not? Did I see Tenmataro in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door... I saw... Yes, now I remember. Yokai, right there in that room. Okay. So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Lots and lots of them. Wait, more than one yokai? Did Tenmataro happen to be among them? I don't know, I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Nurikabe, Sero Taisho. Eek, they were all there. Well, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood on them. This is ludicrous. You will have this court listen to this delusional little scamp's testimony. Yerk!
Hold it!
Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear, but a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course. What a fabulous idea. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. You sure you know what you're doing, Athena? She's obviously done to herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene, and fear of testifying, ever dazed and confused, a regular ball of confusion. But my analytical, psychology-based approach should be able to help. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackquill? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed? It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. She'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. I'll show you. Okay. Nothing but fear. Did I see Tenmataro in the Fox Chamber? Well, I opened the door. I saw. Now I remember. Yokai, right there in that room. Okay, all of these. Found something. Looks like an out-of-control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this? It's one of Widget's functions. Okay. Right here, you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Wow, you mean that little thing can do all this? Pretty cool, huh? And here I thought it was just some kid's toy. It was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit there at the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. So all those yokai she thinks she saw are a product of rampant emotions? Yes, that's right. Her fear has instilled in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinxie's case is fear. So she was and still is seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We'll have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now, let's see. Yeah, we have time. It's not like we're in the middle of a trial or anything. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? The yokai on the Wheel of Fire? Yeah. This one? She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by tapping probe. Next, point to what's causing Jinxie's out-of-control emotion. Finally, tap probe again to try and get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try. Yeah?
Got it!
Okay. I only did what I was told to do. Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on the Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the older man's. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly, it's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. Jinxie, that wasn't Akasha you saw. I forgot, Black Quill does remind me of a weeb once in a while and it makes me cringe. But then he does or says something else and it makes me laugh and forget the cringe. Like when he believes in yokai and stuff like that, I guess, or when he goes like justice don't know or stuff like that. When he keeps saying justice don't know or things like that. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? That?
Take that!
No. What? That thing? I made a mistake. You have to drag to drag the pointer. It's a quirk of Android emulation, I guess. It's not that easy. Okay, let's give this another try. Yeah. It's that thing on the dresser, I guess. This? That would make sense, right?
Take that!
This is what you mistook for a kasha. What? But no? Because it looks like a wheel on fire, I guess. That right here, no? Or the light fixture on the ceiling.
Take that!
The chandelier. Yeah, the light fixture. This one right here, it has a flame design. Just as don't know, and what I learned from a distant land, yeah. He's a little bit of a Chinibyo, like, what's his name again in Steins Gate? The main character. But I forgot the name now. Ocarine. Yeah, that's his name. Okabe is his real name. This one right here, it has a flame design and is up there on the ceiling. Never thought about it, but that's totally it. Yeah. He's a Chunibyo. This one right here, it has a flame design and is up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on a wheel of fire. The kasha you saw was just a light fixture. Eek. Okay. She might start feeling a little bit better. What we do? We have to defeat all the yokais or what? Oops, sorry. Okay, what now? Ah. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now that you've got the hang of it, it should be a cinch to point out the rest. Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster? That's Nurikabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. Yeah, he is in Okami, among other things. He blocks your way. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. Eek! And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. It's just a statue of one. Eek! And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here, it's nothing more than a fox statue. Eek! I don't know what I was thinking. I broke the plate. It's back in one piece. Okay. You did it, Apollo. Her extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. There weren't any yokai after all. Didn't you say that this is one of the games that you have on iOS? Monica, I can't recall. You mentioned having a few on your phone, but I can't remember if this was one of them. Speaking of which, since you seem to know Black Quill, see a clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. You have this one on 3DS? Okay. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the Fox Chamber. Right? There never really were any yokai there. But that's what he said all along. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion. You have Apollo Justice and his investigations on your phone. Yes, that's true, yeah. Yeah, I seemed to recall Apollo Justice, but I wasn't sure about the other one. But now, okay, it's coming back to me now. Wait, Jinxie, what about Tenmataro? There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Tenmataro or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now. You've gotta be joking! Order! Order in the court! I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. No! Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly, we should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. They're surprised, too. I was so scared when I entered the room.
Got it!
This seems like an unnatural reaction. Really, because I don't see it that way. So it isn't unexpected given her testimony. Hello, is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Yes, there is someone at home, and that someone is going to try that again. Oh, okay, it's fear? She's still afraid of something? That's what's weird? Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's true that it would be surprising to see a dead body when she entered. This seems like an unnatural reaction. Really, because I don't see it that way. But there are only 2! No, wait, maybe I have to pick it on the right statement? The old man dead on the table and Papa collapsed on a chair. Nobody else was there, and that includes Tenmataro.
Got it!
Is that it? This seems like an unnatural reaction. Okay, my mistake. Starting to get on my nerves. My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. Ah, that's it. Okay. The amount of fear you felt is rather low, despite your legs having given out from fright. Yeah. Could something else have? Could something have lessened your fear? Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment. You did. Where did it come from? Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me. Okay, I'll enter a sudden burst of courage. Now let's see. Ah, look. Whoops. Okay. Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. Okay, I should save maybe after this. Okay. Okay, overwrite. A sudden burst of courage. Now, where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was, but, I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. Any idea what could have given Jinxie that courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. The mask? Maybe. Did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? If it is what I think it is, it would be this, no? So it was at the crime scene when she entered, and it was moved after?
Take that!
Could it have been this? No? That's not it? Oh. That's not encouraging. Okay, since I saved not long ago, I'll reload my save file. I don't want to take that penalty. I didn't save thinking that I would have something to show, but that was not the purpose. It's just that I hadn't saved in a while, but actually that turned out to be the right thing to do. Because I'm not sure what it could have been. Well, let me see in the photo. Is it the scroll? The protective charm? The one at the scene of the crime. I don't have this one specifically in there, do I? Is it the warning charm?
Take that!
Could it have been this? No. Okay, that's not it. No, not that. But it's not the statue. Must have been something at the scene of the crime. A threatening letter discovered in one of Alderman's QB. I don't remember this much, only a specific thing that happens later. Well, I imagine you haven't played this in quite some time, Monica. This game isn't exactly recent, unless you got it like a long time after it came out, I suppose. Because it never came out physically in Europe, did it? So I imagine you would have had it like from the eShop or something. Maybe when it was discounted. These probably were quite heavily discounted at some point on the eShop. No? Try the crime scene photo, you think?
Take that!
Could it have been this? No, it isn't. Okay. That's not encouraging. That's alright. eShop, no discount at the time? Oh, okay. That's alright, don't worry about it. I can't think of anything either at the moment, so I don't blame you, don't worry. I might have tried it myself anyway. Or was the scroll at the scene? I want to have another look at the photo because this is what tells us what was at the scene, I suppose. What could have brought her courage anyway? I tried that. I thought that might have been that, but I guess no. And that's the autopsy report. Blackmail letter. Freeing him will bring ruin upon the village. This maybe? No? No, I don't think so. I'll have tried everything in the end. What's the flower? I'm not sure. Could there have been a flower at the scene? Ninetales flower, a flower found only in Ninetales Vale. It boosts Jinxie's courage because it was her mother's favorite. Ah!
Take that!
That? Ah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, true. That came up before, but because I played that was yesterday, I had already forgotten. That's the problem when you have to leave the game for some time and only come back to it later. Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a Ninetales flower there at the scene, did you? Ah, the demon lawyer strikes again. Demon lawyer. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a Ninetales flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it. You klepto. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene? That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will produce said evidence this instant. Sorry. It does seem to be some sort of case. Oh, look, something slid out. It appears to be a key. Might I have a look, your boldness? This is none other than the master key to QB Manor. Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackquill? It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key that went missing? Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. This bird is so cute, I love it. Bit frightening, though, to the people involved. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder, which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is? Until Jinxie Telma opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world, and there was no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. No! But the window! There's the window still! Objection! How could this happen? The defense's assistant will refrain from growling or frustrations. Athena, are you alright? I know Mayor Tenma's innocent, but there's nothing we can do. This sucks. Sykes Dono. Allow me to put you out of your misery. Sykes Dono. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come. A clean conscience. Wait, what? Conscience, maybe they meant. A clean conscience, maybe. Conscious? That doesn't mean it. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's not going to fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks. Now I'm the one who's dazed and confused. I can't even think straight. Hey, are you alright? She fell right into his trap. Now I suggest you make a mad dash from the courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared of... and your conscious... Okay, I guess this is correct English. Your conscious cleansed.
Objection!
Okay. Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Maybe conscious is a noun and not an adjective in this case. Actually, what does that mean? Is that like a synonym to the mind? Conscious noun meaning. I'm gonna look it up like that. Noun meaning. The state of being conscious, awareness of one's own existence, sensations, thoughts, surroundings. Is conscious a noun or an adjective? Okay. But I don't know. I can't find any conclusive information. Oh well. Whatever. I'm not gonna argue. Apollo? Mr. Justice, I heard the word objection, but what is it you object to? Oh, right. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else. Though I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Athena. The court is waiting, Mr. Justice, though as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case? Well, actually, I do. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine. Apollo, you do have something more than your cords of steel, don't you? Not really, but we'll be fine. But... I've got absolutely nothing, but that's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room. Because it's all over if I don't. Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box. Or in this case, inside the box, and what a doozy that locked room is, too. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument? The window? Or the back room, maybe? Yeah. Bullshit power is activated, yeah. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vague conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono. Time to do or die, literally. The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room. You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened? I'm fine. We just need to think this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning. So, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there's a sheer cliff outside. Yeah, but we found hair on the window, didn't we? That came from the mask of the Nine Tails. As for the air vent... Oh yeah, true. I forgot about this. It's up too high and there's nothing you could stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, well, I don't know. That's why we gotta keep the solution simple, like they say, simple is best. You know what they say, love is blind. We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes. Well... then whatever is left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. Well, I will try to sleep again, so thanks for the stream and have a good rest of the night. Well, I would like to try at least to get through this section of the trial before it goes back to an investigation or something, before I save and go to sleep myself, because I have some shopping to do. I'll be streaming in the afternoon tomorrow, probably. Probably both the afternoon and the evening, we'll see. Have a good night, Monica. Sweet dreams, and thank you. Then whatever is left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposes that the killer escaped through here. Well, that's all that's left, isn't it? The hallway door? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. But it was locked! The hallway door, well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jixi Tenma came on the scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox Chamber and then lock it without a key, I should have seen this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I could understand if the killer had exited the room with the key. But, well, that's it. Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly. I'm fine. I can explain myself. The perp locked it from outside. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door and then locked it. Ouch! Consider this, the master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox Chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from that room is blatant contradiction of fact. Maybe it was placed back inside through the window. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside, but the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction. If only we could explain both, like how the key could be inside the room and be used to lock the door from outside. Well, he threw it in from outside, I guess. Well, let's see if the defense can respond before Prosecutor Blackquill draws his sword. How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? I threw it in from outside. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I said. What if someone threw it into the room from outside? You know, something like go out the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window? That would explain how the master key could be inside the locked room. And where would you throw it from? There is a cliff outside the Fox Chamber's window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. There's the ducts, but I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. Somewhere other than the window? That seems awfully complicated though, and going through a lot of trouble, I guess. Going out, locking it, going back through the duct, and throwing the key inside. That seems like a whole lot of effort. Somewhere other than the window. Could the key have been tossed in through somewhere other than the window? Well, the duct, I guess. Here?
Take that!
The air vents, yeah. Yes, the window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not. Oh, that's right. The Fox Chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox Chamber, then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. That's preposterous. Well, even I think it's preposterous, but... Oh, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly. Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. Don't worry, it's quite a small duct, so who could fit in there? I'll explain it so even Your Honor can understand. First, the real killer disguised as Tenmataro murdered the older man in the Fox Chamber. Then they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside in the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent in the ceiling here. All that was left to do after that was go back through the duct and flee the manor. That could also explain if the murderer was wearing the outfit that looks like Tenmataro. That would explain why when she came in, it wasn't there, and it's only after she came back that she saw Tenmataro in the hallway and going out. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? Amazing, even I could follow that. The judge seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like Tenmataro. And there was someone else other than the mayor and the older man in that room. Hey, it looks like that lawyer has beaten the jailbird prosecutor. Wow, that was a total turnabout. That massive forehead of his seems so much... Ah, crap, I didn't get to read the rest. Order! Order! Order, I say! Now that I've proved the possible third party, I don't see how our client could be guilty.
Silence!
Silence. A valiant effort, Justice Dono, but your final thrust missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? That's exactly what happened. The killer fled from the... Ouch! But that is impossible without being spotted by the foyer's security camera, that is. Yeah, I suppose so. The electric eye here would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. Indeed. However, there is no sign of Tenmataro anywhere in the security footage. Excuse me. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good. Hold it. Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera. Which one do you mean? Hey, you're right. Silence. Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliffside of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one. Yeah, but he's kind of a bird, I guess. The yokai. Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window? What the heck, right? Ha! I suppose your next proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset? Well, that would mean the killer really was a yokai. If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer, who's saying we don't, as completely far-fetched as it might be. What? You're saying you can prove the killer could fly? Well, we have that, I guess. As weird as it is. Wow, I thought I was the one with the cords of steel. Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Your Honor? What evidence do you have that the killer flew away? Well, this.
Take that!
Take a look at this special edition paper. Tenmataro, real or flight of fancy. What does this article prove, Mr. Justice? Well, the wings could act as a glider of sorts, I guess. The photo in that article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in that photo is the killer shortly after they fled out of the window. Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting the disguise could double as a glider, I suppose? Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. A hang glider of sorts. The killer disguised as Tenmataro flew away, you know, by some way or another.
Silence!
Silence. Silence. He's like Professor Snape or something. It is your brain that has flown the coop. That image is not but trick photography or some other form of artifice. Okay, then how about the Tenmataro figure Mr. Filch saw? It just vanished into thin air? No, there is a rational, common-sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai our Trixie Tanuki witnessed never reached the entrance. He or should I say she turned back before the camera's electric eye. He's gonna accuse Jinxie. She, I don't like where this is going one bit. Now, the fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it was likely either Mayor Damien Tenma or his daughter Jinxie Tenma. He's gonna try to pass her for an accomplice. However, we know that Mayor Tenma was already unconscious at that time. Not good. Not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? The falsified yokai remnants and the appearance of Tenmataro were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Tenma. Uh-oh. She's gonna go to jail too now. She's gonna get arrested. Ah, no! Order! Order! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever. The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father, and it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. The prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out of the window. Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap? What do we do now, Apollo? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. If only we had one. Bailiff, seize her! It is time I interrogated her as the samurai of yore would. Oh no. Mayor Tenma. He's not gonna like it. This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? Tenma Taro's true identity is... Now, Mr. Mayor, it would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook your little yokai farce. Confess? The defendant intends to confess? Wait! Apollo! Prosecutor Blackwill's up to his mind games again. Mayor Tenma, no, don't fall for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone. The real killer is... Mayor Tenma's going to confess unless we do something. But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away. Cow, 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 cow. Look upon me in despair, for ripe is the time for my return. Uh-oh, I should watch what I wish for. Cow, 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 foolish mortals. I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek. Mayor Tenma. Silence, I am Tenma Taro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold, the return of the Demon King. Piccolo Daimao. Well then, I think I would take a vacation, or something. The witness will, he would explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenma Taro, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is I, Tenma Taro, the one whom you see, come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenma Taro, you say? Ha, what nonsense. Excuse me. So, Mayor Tenma is a yokai now? Cow, 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 cow. His body is now mine. So you're saying that Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? And that the yokai that Jinxie, Tenma, and Phineas Filch saw, and the one captured in the newspaper photo, those were all you? The accursed power of these warding charms prevents me from revealing my true form. Your boldness. Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt? Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented. Be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned. Huh? What? You claimed the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped from the locked fox chamber, but it was the accused all along. Arrgh! Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be real in a manner of speaking, for the old man's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene, that too was Mayor Tenma, or should I say, our dear Tenma Taro. The pieces have all fallen into place. How so, Prosecutor Blackquill? It seems I must spell it all out for you. Mayor Tenma killed the older man in the fox chamber, which was locked at the time. Which was the style at the time? He then removed the warding charms from the Forbidden Chamber's door, but then fell unconscious from the blow the older man has delivered to his head. That's when his daughter Jinxie Tenma stumbled on the scene of the crime. The little scamps fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenma Taro, freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the fox chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenma Taro and then came back. But when we arrived on the scene, the mayor was found unconscious. How is that possible if he was supposed to have flown out of the foyer window? Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of QB Manor, Jinxie Tenma, was Tenma Taro? Cow, 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 cow. That too is easily explained. Flew about for a time did I, but presently tired I made for the Forbidden Chamber. But the last exhaustion took me unawares in the Fox Chamber and I knew no more. If you want to believe it, it would seem the pieces are still in place. Is Black Quill up to his tricks again? I don't know what to say. Is the defendant real live? So that rumor about Mayor Tenma is true? I knew yokai were real. You mean he really did kill the older man just so he could release Tenma Taro? Order! Order! Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai. It's Simon Says on steroids. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty of your baldness. This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection!
Mayor Tenma is just pretending to be Tenma Taro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature. Since both sides have raised valid points, I have no choice but to... Silence. This is the dark age of law where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? Knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning. Justice Dono.
Objection!
I won't fabricate any evidence. Silence. Then prove it by joining me. A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. How about I just promise not to succumb to anything? We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. A guilty verdict is all but... What's that? What's wrong with him? Prosecutor Blackwell, we've had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play and you are in serious violation of that. What, he has a remote on him or something? What in the devil was that? Fulbright, have you tempered with my shackles in some manner? It seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave. You shall pay for this. I, Simon Blackquill, vow to... Your Honor, you need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Blackquill will remain on his best behavior. The guy has balls, though. A bit late with the reassurances, aren't we, Detective? Well, in that case... This concludes today's deliberation. The prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further their investigations. This court is adjourned. To be continued. Well, if I get to save now, that's my cue to stop playing. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow in the afternoon. And we'll continue at that time. See you tomorrow then. I'll continue then. Bye-bye and thank you for watching as always.